My name's Ryan, aka DJ Gammacell, and one half of the newly organised Burleigh Baseway crew. Me and Harry ended up kind of branching off and trying to start our own thing, and it's been pretty successful.
Who is currently the best DJ in Canberra?
It's going to come back. It's going to come back with a vengeance, man. I suppose my whole life's been a journey in music in one way or another. But, you know, we're just DJs, you know.
Whom are you representing here?
Here? Oh, yeah, my good friend, fucking...
Hello everybody from the Bridge Hotel, the infamous Bridge Hotel in Sydney, Psyheads and Base Station. Brother, please introduce yourself.
My name's Ryan, aka DJ Gammacell, and one half of the newly organised Burleigh Baseway crew.
What does Gammacell mean?
I got the idea from... I like comics when I was a kid, and gamma radiation just sounded really cool. And I was just kind of looking up on the internet to see what DJs had taken names similar, and just ended up putting "cell" on the end of it, and that was the rest is history.
So, how long have you been DJing?
You know that question very well because we started DJing at the same time when we went to CIT together. 2 years ago, roughly. So it's been one hell of a ride since then.
Well, I'm going to correct you. It's 2.5 years, almost 2.5 years. But I'm not asking this question for me. As you know, there are many viewers who would very be curious to know your story. So what is your story? How did you get into loving music? Because as I understand, apart from electronic music, you also like other genres of music. How did your music story begin?
Well, I started off as a metalhead when I was younger. Pretty much anything to catch my parents' attention, I suppose, or, you know, fight the establishment. So I started listening to, back in the day when there was LimeWire, downloading just heaps of death metal. Cannibal Corpse is my favourite band. And then my music collection, like I've always had an eclectic taste in music because my mum loves music. She always played everything to us when we were kids. So I suppose my whole life's been a journey in music in one way or another. But when I started doofing and I saw people like Loose Cannon playing, I was like, that's what I want to do, man, you know? And then from there, in the hometown, we have crews like Heads Are Rolling and Soul Jazz and stuff, who I started going to their club gigs, and just really, like Jungle, when I first heard it, I was like, oh my God, this is insane. Like, I always love really hard edge music, you know, so when I heard Jungle, I was like, yeah, this is sick. And then they became like idols to me, and when I started mixing, they just ended up booking me out of the sheer fact that I was mates with them and trying to start DJing myself. So that's where it kind of happened. And then me and Harry ended up kind of branching off and trying to start our own thing, and it's been pretty successful. We've had some real success as Burleigh Baseway crew. We've had multiple club gigs in Canberra. Loving it.
Tell me a little bit more about this Burleigh Bass Crew project. What is it? How did it come about? What are your plans? What is this project firstly mainly about? As I understand, you play sometimes together, back to back.
Well, there's the thing about Canberra. It's a great DIY community, and there's also crews like Late Night Music, you know, Peter, and stuff. And there's this really great do-it-yourself kind of attitude towards DJing in Canberra. So it seemed kind of natural once I started DJing. Like, I suppose I got tired with the thought of getting booked for certain things, and I realized, like, I just came to the realization, I was like, why don't I just try and do it myself? And it was interesting because the teacher that we had at school, Jungle Jerry, ended up being a music manager at Transit Bar, and he contacted me around the same time that I was thinking about it myself, and he just said, come through, and I brought Harry with me, did a couple of sets, and then the first night that we did, all of our mates came, and it turned out to be a really, great turnout. So from there, we just started like saying to Jerry, like, we'll do it ourselves, and they were like trying to come up with a name for the DJ nights there, and we came up with Spin City for the first 2 gigs, I think it was, and then we changed over to Burley Baseweight, started doing it ourselves.
Nice. So what is your preferred genre of DJing? Jungle, I guess?
Jungle, anything really hard edge and high energy. Jungle, I really love playing. It's just the energy's so high, and also more hard edge stuff like Dark Side. The set that I played at the Return to Amends fundraiser for Drinker, shout out Drinker, love you, mate. That was the first time that I played Forest out at a doof, and I loved that, man. Like, it was so fun. Just high BPM, high energy, just, tear shit up.
Are you gonna play a bit more of that genre?
Yeah, well, me and Harry we're both Dark Side heads at the end of the day. I suppose with getting our Burley Baseweight off the ground, we're more so trying to play genres that we know that our friends are going to show up to. I mean, if we started out doing a high-tech and dark psytrance night, I don't think it would be as popular as it has been for us. But we'll get there. And we'd like to start working with, I've been talking to people like JJ and our mates who run outdoor parties, and it'd be cool to collab with them at some point and just play whatever the fuck we want.
Well, I was gonna ask what's coming up in terms of Burley Baseweight crew.
We started the year off with a bang. We had a couple of gigs, and we had Transformer. We put him up we did like kind of a clash with Soul Jazz Crew, and we had one of our own nights separate from that. And then we came here, played at the Bridge, which is amazing. And then when we go back to Canberra in March, we've got a gig with the Shook Crew and like One Ton and Uber Moon and a bunch of really cool DJs from Sydney that one of our mates, Alex, put us onto. Al Frankie's his DJ name. And he just kind of hit us up and was like, do you want to play with us at this gig? So that's the next thing for us, and we're going to be playing as Burley Baseweight this time, back to doing our back-to-back stuff. But yeah, it was good to play tonight. Like, we got to play separate sets, which was awesome. We got very different styles of mixing, so it was great to just be able to do our own thing. Yeah.
So do you feel like you're on the right path? That's what you want to continue doing?
Yeah. It's like a fucking rocket trajectory, man. The last 2 years have been crazy. We went from not playing anything to essentially going to CIT and paying a lot of money to learn how to beat match and record box music and stuff like that. And then after that, it's just been, sky's the limit, mate.
That's very nice.
We started off at a similar time, and you're playing fucking Zenith, dude. It's insane. You've been playing all these gigs and you're fucking everywhere. It's crazy, It's been a busy couple of years.
Yeah, so this is your first time playing at the Bridge Hotel?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so when we came up to Sydney to do some networking when I came with you, obviously met Bill then, and we had the night here just dancing away. And yeah, this is the next time back at the bridge for me, and we're playing, which is fucking really cool.
What do you think about this place?
With what?
What do you think about this place?
Oh, it's the fucking Wild West, man. Compared to Canberra, you can do whatever you want. There's fucking, 2 rooms, great music. There's it's area to sit outside. It's beautiful. Like it's a very free-spirited kind of place, It's just like, compared to Canberra with the lockout laws that we have and stuff, it's like 2 a.m. go home. And here it's like, what are they planning to finish with your set at 6 a.m.? Like, that's crazy, dude. Like 12 hours of partying. It's the Wild West. Crazy.
I was going to ask you made a couple of comparisons to Canberra. I was going to ask you, what do you think Canberra electronic music scene is like?
Oh, it's fucking blossoming after COVID, man. There's so many crews popping up around the place. As I said, it's that real DIY culture that we have in Canberra, and the accessibility to, there's a few good clubs that just love putting people on. And I can't count the amount of crews that are popping up at the moment and doing really different kind of stuff, Everywhere from like house and techno to, jungle and, like lighter, more ambient jungle kind of stuff. And yeah, people are putting on events with like the, what's that truck called? The Soul Defender? It's all happening. It's all over the place. Especially after COVID, people are just going nuts.
Well, I've seen the Soul Defender a couple of times. That was during COVID. I haven't seen it. There was another gig with Grouch in Dub.
Parties, and they're pretty cool. I haven't been to one of the lake parties yet, but it's a real like daytime vibe. Really cool. Yeah.
I was going to ask you about Canberra, also about doof scene, outdoor parties. What do you think that is like?
To make a comeback, like COVID obviously crippled it. And
come on, COVID has been gone for nearly a year, mate.
It did in the start, so we're trying to slowly build it back up, and it's getting there. People have been throwing parties like the one that Ben and Gus threw up on Black Mountain. That was, I heard the production on that was amazing, and it's fucking on Black Mountain, man. 10 minutes from the city. It's gonna come back. It's gonna come back with a vengeance, man. Especially with all these crews getting together and doing stuff,
I hope so, because I'm not seeing enough outdoor activity.
Yeah. Well, I suppose people are a bit worried to jump back in. There's a lot of heat on in the start, there was a lot of heat on with the police and limiting numbers and making sure that you were following COVID protocols and all that kind of stuff. So once that kind of, it's all going to just fizzle out eventually. Unless COVID kills us all.
Are you gonna put on the party outdoor party this year sometime?
Yeah, well, I'd love to. I'd really love to, and I've spoken to JJ, and we'd like to get the ball rolling. And because the hardest thing for us is when we're doing bass weight gigs, we can only put like 5 DJs on at a time. But we've got so many mates that we could do a 24-hour party and still have more DJs than we need to fill the lineup. So the first big one, the first outdoor party that we do is going to be huge, and it's just going to be chock-a-block of Australian talent, Canberran talent, new and old, and it'll be on for young and old.
What do you think currently is, like, say, 2 main problems in our scene, in the underground music?
What are 2 main problems?
Yes.
I mean, well, first of all, obviously the restrictions and stuff. It really damaged everything and the progress that people were making and stuff. And with homegrown parties like Psyland and stuff, it really hit those kind of thing hard. And I suppose, I don't know, there's so many to pick from, really. Like, I suppose I'm really, really against like predatory behaviour and just people being douchebags and stuff, you know what I mean? Like, that can really affect it, especially for the girls going to parties and stuff, You want a safe, inclusive environment for everyone. And if it only takes a couple of dickheads to ruin it all for everyone. So, yeah, I suppose just, you know, yeah, you just got to try and have safe, fun parties, and sometimes a few things can get in the way of that. And yeah, hopefully this year we can just start having some fun and have really safe, inclusive environments and leave COVID in the rear mirror, you know?
How do you think you achieve that? Like you are as an organizer, for example, what do you do for that? And you know, sometimes it's really hard to do something because there's always can be someone who just rocks up, and especially if it's an underground party, no security, no official security. What can be done really?
Well, it's hard in the bush because you can't really just tell somebody to leave, but you're not going to get away with it, especially in like. The crew that we're putting together with Burley Baseway, we have so many female supporters and friends and there's no way that we're going to compromise their safety and their ability to go out and have a good time without being harassed by people. So especially with the club gigs and stuff, we'll just fucking kick you out, you know? A big group of dudes will kick you out, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't cut it. And I suppose it's harder with bush parties and stuff, but like, you'll just be outcast, you know? Like, we'll just tell you to piss off to your tent and fucking sleep it off or whatever, you know? Yeah, zero tolerance.
How do you think, how much did studying at CIT help you in your DJing career?
Well, I joke around and say that it was a very expensive way to learn how to beat match. But essentially I learned how to record box. I'm terrible with computers, which doesn't help as a DJ. So it gave me the foot in the door to learn how to, you know, take music from the internet, buying it on Bandcamp and stuff, putting it into record box, and then it gave me the simple instructions to mix, you know. So I suppose I wouldn't be where I am without it, honestly, like, because I don't learn very well from. I've got such a vast array of friends that I could learn from, but I don't learn very well in certain circumstances. And when you're mixing with DJs who have been on the scene for fucking 10 years or something, sometimes, bless their heart, and as much as they try, it just comes across as gobbledygook. And you're just kind of like, oh, you know, they're going too fast and you don't know what they're talking about. And so it was like a nice, slow-paced learning, and you could take it home and, you know, expand on it yourself, that's the kind of learning that I work well with. So it worked out well in the end.
Who is currently the best DJ in Canberra?
Luke Cannon.
Anyone close to him?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I think my partner Harry is going to end up being one of the most technical DJs with drum and bass and jungle, and the darker side of the music, high tech and stuff. We have completely different mixing styles. I'm just very much about playing really carefully selected tunes into each other, and just making clean mixes and clean transitions. But he's doing fucking looping and fucking using all the different effects and stuff. Like, he's been doing it for about 6 years, but he's come so far. And I'm really proud of that dude. You know, he's gonna fucking do some big things. Hopefully we're gonna apply for Dragon this year as Burley Baseweight.
What do you mean, hopefully? You're gonna apply?
I'm gonna apply.
Hopefully you're gonna be accepted.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, we've supported people like Transformer from the UK, who's an old Canberra head as well. We've supported Luke Cannon, you know, who's our fucking hero, you know. So we've got a good couple of, you know, and we've supported the Heads crew and the Soul Jazz crew, and we've got a lot of stuff on, like, we've got content on YouTube now, thanks to you. So you can Google Gammacell or Cetacean or whatever, and something actually comes up when you Google it. So if we put in the application that we've supported a couple of heavy hitters, and then they can just literally say, just Google us, and there's content on the internet to find. Hopefully that'll give it a bit of, you know, volume and maybe help with the, you know, application process.
Let's hope so, man. Who are currently your best favorite producers?
Favorite producer? That's a hard question. I really like. The thing is half of the great producers that I love have come and played in Canberra thanks to people like Soul Jazz and Heads Rolling, like, you know, X Nation, like Vivek and Fixate, you know, great dubstep and stuff like that. But I love like really hectic stuff, you know, like high tech, you know, Professor Smokes and just, you know, crazy dudes, you know. But, you know, we're just DJs, you know, just DJs. So I'm pretty happy with that, you know.
Oh, that's great, man. Well,
I love all producers.
that's nice.
Good music.
Yes. Thanks very much for sitting down with me, bro.
Thanks,
very nice talking to you. Whom are you representing here?
Here? Oh, yeah, my good friend. My good friend Misha, Solid Professor. Also one of my favorite DJs in Canberra at the moment, and I'm not just saying that to be funny. I really enjoy your mixing style and the progression that you've made. And I've had some real fun on the dance floor dancing to your stuff. And I'm really keen to see your new set as Liquid Professor sometime in the crazy hours of the morning.
Mate, thank you very much. It's so wonderful that there's so many Canberra guys and girls came to support.
Time. Yeah, we came like by ourselves last time, and this time we got like a mad crew.
I think Loose Cannon just finished playing. Let's go grab them and have a drink. So thanks everyone for watching. We are at Psyheads and Base Station at the bridge, the infamous Bridge Hotel, and it's all been great. Any last words?
No, not really. Just be nice to people.
Yeah. Nice talking to you, bro.
Yeah, you too, bro.
Cheers.